And it's like, okay, and I had to go through the list. Well, this person did this, this person did this. They're playing along with whatever it is. They found me while I was on the search for adult relationships. Instead, I found a bunch of idiots who haven't grown up yet, even though they're, they were ranging in age from 26 to 70 even. So one guy who ran the Odyssey with the same group I did, the gay running group Front Runners, and still a child, at heart and playing the game. So with all that said, I'm stronger for it. I think there's a song, oh right, Sinead O'Connor. Thank you for hurting me. Thank you for loving me. So in that song, Sinead O'Connor had to thank her abusers for making her a tougher person. Life isn't supposed to be that way. We all have hard knocks. That's sort of the reality that some people want to put forward. But there are a lot of people who grew up in very loving, supportive homes, and they continue to be loved and supported in their communities. Now, whether or not they themselves abuse and harm other people, or if they're just used to loving, supportive people, I'm not sure. Thank you for loving. So Manduka, that's a different song. Sinead O'Connor had a bunch of songs earlier in her career, and that's one of her early songs. She wore different hairstyles back then and wasn't always shaved or a bald person. She would have to keep shaving her hair to maintain that look. She wound up passing away a few years ago. So anyway, she tried to get back onto the music scene, but they kept jerking her head around while she sang that song, Going to Church, or Take Me to Church. Da, 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 da. So she actually got a degree in theology. She studied theology for a while. I'm wondering if she wondered about, so who knows, but every time she tried to sing, Take Me to Church, it's not, there's two Take Me to Churches. There's the Hoosier one, and then there's one she sang. But they kept jerking her head off to the right. And it was disturbing. I'm saying they because there are people out there who try to take hold of other people. They try to handle them too much. And it could be people who either don't want someone seen, or they're tired of certain people having certain privileges, which would include being coveted like butter so that you wind up being successful for your family lineage or group. That would be one way to look at it. So I don't know what to say, but it did bother me that her head kept being jerked off to the right. She even said it on like a late night talk show or similar, and she said, I need to fix that thing where, for some reason I keep looking off to the side, so we need to work on that for future performances. But it's so bad. It's, you think it's a normal bodily reaction. I think someone up there, the giants, tried to control her too much for their own purposes, whatever that was. So who knows what the reason was, but anyway. Please like, share, and subscribe. Here on the Chestnut Street Bridge. Walking over towards the 30th Street station. I'm on the early sign. It's before 7 a.m. But I wanted to see what the dealio was at this hour, which would normally be rush hour-ish. Philly's rush hour is so much different It's remarkable. I was just thinking last night at all the Starbucks stores. We have a lot fewer Starbucks stores and they're spread out, whereas before they were all concentrated in Center City. And I used to walk by all these stores and we are talking lines. And in the city you walk, you know, or people come off the subway and they walk to Starbucks or whatever. Lines, and more lines. These days, no lines. And I've been there at all different times to see, like, is there a different time period when there'd be nothing. That's the Schuylkill River. And I'm wondering where all those people went who came into the city to work. There were students, and the U of R's closed, so that's one small segment, but they didn't always buy Starbucks. In fact, they would often be against the man, like a lot of them. So that would mean we're not going to buy Starbucks because we're defiant, irreverent artists. You know what I mean? It's also expensive, and artists often don't have money. And it used to be expensive to go to URs. I was surprised. I was like, are you kidding? That's more expensive than going to a university. It's ridiculous. They can't really charge that much for people who are going to come out desperately seeking work in fields that don't pay that much. So there's a train all the way down there going over the Drexel University Bridge. It's a couple blocks down. Let's see if I can make it here. Should we go to the Drexel and then turn around? Or? Should we go straight? Go to Drexel, okay. I'm not sure how much the camera will pick up. A lot of these trains are long. I'm not sure how, you know, timed I am. So, here, there's this, on top of that parking garage, there's a open to the public social spot, if you will. Sierra on the Green. It's really neat. If you're ever in Philly, it's worth giving it a look. Has a big screen TV, a little dog run for the people who live in the two buildings around the parking garage, or anyone else. You can still visit the little tiny dog run as someone who's just, say you parked your car here and ran up there. It's small, but the post office is this building here with the blue stripe on the other side of 30th Street, which, you know, I'll be doing in a second, crossing over that street. This building has gone up in the past year and a half, 2 years. I don't know what it's supposed to be, but there it is.